Welcome to the revolution. Decentralized.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first episode of Decentralized podcast for the year 2024. Firstly, I'd like to thank Imkungebe Studios for making the episode possible, and our guest, Umajaha Mabuza, who has fortunately honored the invite when we extended the invite to him. So, siyabonga nje for everyone who made the episode possible. As I've already said, we've got Umajaha next to us, who's our guest for today. So let me give the reins over to him as introduce nje ukuthi ubani uMajaha wakamabuza, ubani wakabani, uqhamukaphi, just a brief outline just so that the viewers can know ukuthi who's our guest and where is he from. Baba, over to you.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Fitz, for an opportunity to invite me to come and share this platform with you. And igama lami mina nginguMajaha, good boy wakamabuza.
Yes.
I was born and bred here in Ermelo. So someone else obukayo can question my name. I was ukuthi uMajaha, like, is it your nickname or your real name? Yeah. So yeah, I'm from Swaziland.
Oh,
so
okay.
Umajaha, when you translate it into Zulu, it's Ubafana. So unfortunately, I'm Abuza, so Mswati. So Majaha, it means Bafana in Zulu. So Njoba, as I've already mentioned, wala Ermelo, uzalelulana, akhulela lana. So impilo yami yonke nje ibe khona la eErmelo.
Ibe khona la eErmelo.
Yes.
All right. But no, you made for an interesting guest when I reintroduced the podcast on social media, and a lot of people actually wanted me to invite you. And what the public wants sometimes is what the public should get.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping Guti well in terms of views and numbers. Sizoba ntwimbu. So one of the main reasons I invited you, this is a bit of a touchy topic, but I'm hoping Guti will just conversate about it, and people will learn a lot from you understand? Because one of the main reasons why one started this podcast is that it should be educational. It should be able to teach people in one way or the other about the good and the bad of certain actions, So one of the main reasons that I decided to actually adhere to social media and actually invite you was the fact that you have been through a lot in your life, and you've been a warrior. There have been many things that you've encountered and many things that you have emerged victorious on. Kindly take us through a bit of your challenges, like coming from or emerging from a young boy into manhood. There are some questions that, or there are some topics that we'll rather go through in detail, but just kindly take us through the challenges that you had while growing up, and briefly just that.
What I can say is that as a man, it doesn't matter the age, but as a man, when you were born, you must be prepared for impilo and understand ukuthi throughout the journey of life kuzoba nama challenges also encounter, and those challenges azoba nzima. So nale believe ukuthi uNkulunkulu, when you are exceptionally gifted, you become exceptionally tempted. You understand that. So to tell you about my journey as a child, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad because I was raised by both parents under one roof. So I was raised well. but because uma sikhula empilweni sidibana nabantu abahlukile enizimo ezihlukile and which is the reason why who's this pastor Sithembiso Zondo athi show me your friends then I'll tell you your future. Yeah, so uma ngithi uhlangana nabantu abahlukile empilweni ungakhuliseka kahle ekhaya but estradini uhlangane nabantu abazokuinfluencer opposite from lokho ufundiswa kona ekhaya.
What you were brought up with.
Yes, so nami ezintweni ezinye mhlambe ezi-influence impilo yami too. Iside elibed. I got it from the street, not from home, because ekhaya ngikhuliseke kahle.
Yes,
so
definitely.
Yes, so njengoba ngisho mfethu ukuthi throughout lezo zimo lezo mhlambe esizo elaborate kizo throughout the session. I've learned ukuthi mawindoda you must be strong mfethu. Ungathi uma uhuzukile and bese uyakhwitha, you must always get up. Always stand up and dust yourself uqhubeke nempilo. Yes, so ukusho kancane ukuthi mina I've been to prison or even before prison I've been in gangsters. I've been to church also. I've been to church as well, and I've been to gangsters. I've been to prison. A lot has happened. Lord. So, however, I'll get into details as the session
goes on.
Yes.
All right. No, I'm glad that you've told us about the sequence of events as to how things happened. So now this is the platform for me to actually rather go into a bit of detail as to what actually happened. Would you mind rather elaborating to us and the viewers at home, Uguti, what actually happened in order for you to get into the life of gangsterism, which eventually led you to prison?
No, I don't mind. It's all. I don't mind because mfethu ngizothini angikho shy. Or anginamahloni uku-share with the public about my experiences. Especially because loyo muntu loyo, it's an old me. Manje ngilo muntu enguye and I've learned a lot from leyo mpilo loyo endlulile, and leyo mpilo leyo inginikeze i-directive ukuthi ngibe la ngikhona manje. And I'm glad angisho ukuthi ngenza right ukuthi ngibe lapho ebengikhona khona, but somehow ngifundile okunye kuze ngibe khona la ngikhona khona.
You had some lessons to learn.
So to respond from your question, mfethu mina ngikhulele kasi, impilo yami ibese kasi yonke namanje seselokishini. Ngaze ngahlala kwenye indawo, ngihlale vele ngihlale nje lokishini, ngizalele lokishini, ngakhulele lokishini. So njoba ngimentionile earlier ukuthi uma sikhula ku-environment enabantu abahlukile ne, and uma sikhula ezibantwana we don't get to know ukuthi ngumuphi umngane oright ngumuphi or wrong, even though abazali bas-advise ukuthi okay lo mngane wakho lona akabi right, but as you know mfethu ukuthi ama-decision aright emehlweni wethu asuke abhede. So kuba i-vice versa nje. So mina mfethu uma ngikhula I've got exposed to abangani abangabanga right. So nama ended up inheritor leyo attitude toward them.
Naleyo behavior.
So I ended up being involved kuma gangsterism. So for peace sake I'll not mention names. But I've ended up there. Included my gangsterism, especially when I got to high school, being funded Hafa, grade 8 no grade 9. So that's why impilo yami ngicabanga ukuthi qale ukudistebe kakhulu, because bengiqhamuke primary mengifika high school. Uyazi now for high school akusafane nase primary.
Yes, definitely.
So I've got exposed to those people and I inherited that evil spirit from them. So impilo yami phindile yaba grand. So it happened, it goes to an extent la ngicine sengilimala nakhona. So you can see if
physically.
Yes, physically.
Yeah.
I've got into a fight class I was doing grade 8.
Yeah.
So there was this other guy ukhona nama one.
Yeah.
And that's how forgiveness ne.
That's how forgiveness works.
Yes, yeah. So wangilimaza la.
Yeah.
Nala ngoba ngiyakhula la cishe sikavaleka kubonakala, but I've got a sky.
Yeah.
Nala wangilimaza. I was doing grade 8, so kwaba ne argument sagcina silwa, so wangikwaza ngalimala. So into engidirectela la sekuthenini khona ngize ngibe nenkani yokulwa, it's because I wanted to fit in, I wanted recognition from esikolweni ukuthi nami I can do this. Ngeke ngihluleke ukulwa, and by fighting mina njengomntwana I thought ngizokhona nokubamba buchiri yabo, ngizokhona ukuthi buchiri wabona
social standard.
So in that way mfethu after sengilimele uyazi ke kuba nema procedure enzakala esikolweni internal procedures. So kwaba nako lokho, so lokho kwasesikolweni kuba khona lokuthi mina nalomuntu ongilimazile sibase lokishini, and we are residing within the same area,
the same vicinity.
Yes. So kuba nalokuthi ke manje sesiphumile ke esikolweni wena ungilimazile sesiselokishini. Njengoba ngimentionile ukuthi mina I've been to church nanokuthi ngikhuliseke kahle, and I understand the power of forgiveness. Mfethu I give you my word, angaze loyo muntu loyo ngamconfronta ngalwa naye noma ngamrevenge or anything. Benginayo iopportunity ukuthi ngakwenza lo, but lokuthi usestradini uphila leyo mpilo leyo, but kukhona within yourself ikhona that the consciousness,
ukuthi no, this is not worth
it. That civil consciousness kicked in. Then would know that's not who I am. So ngamxolela even without him asking for forgiveness.
Without apologizing.
So ngamxolela sachubeka nempilo. Loyo muntu loyo I told you ukhona namanje. And without even mentioning his name. He's on drugs. So even manje I've got ngama powers wonke ukuthi ngim revenge. Because mfethu isono noma into yenze emntwini ungayenza kimi namuhla, but lento leyo can affect you even after 20 years. It can comes back.
True.
So
hence kuthiwa izono zabazali
ziwela phezulu kwethu, exactly like ungangenza into manje ne. I'm not saying it's good, but ungangenza into manje mina nginomntwana ngumfana, you can kill me. For an example, mina I've got umntwana ngumfana, and uyakhula wena, so lo mntwana masikanganga wena uyobuyikhela, and lento le iyobe lokhu ikulandela.
Yes. Sekazama ukurevenge ukuthi this is the person that killed my father.
Yes, exactly. So that's the reason why I always say to people, into oyenzayo cabangela for in the future.
It will come back tenfold.
Yes, because ezinye zezinto esizenza manje sisilandela for the rest of our lives.
No, excellent for to no. I think we've gotten the background. Ukuthi aqala kanjani lento ukuthi you got exposed to the wrong crowd. You tried to fit in, and it led to a point whereby agcina seyikumikisa in other places.
Not even kwezinye indawo, it's fine. We can name it. Name it
to prison, as you just said. But I would also like to know, I'm sure the viewers would also like to know ukuthi afterwards alright ikhona element gangsterism songenile, and then it led you to prison. Like how long did you stay in prison, and how was the experience there? I'm sorry for asking good how was the experience. Like I just want ukuthi abantu babone, whoever's watching, understand that to try and comprehend ukuthi how's prison life in terms of the day-to-day running of it and the day-to-day experience. So if I want to explore this type of life, maybe it might not be worth it.
Oh, it's not worth it actually. So Lena, it's profound. It's profound. This one it's profound, and if we address it, we must address it in an appropriate manner.
yes, most definitely.
Yes, so yeah, I mean, I've been to prison. Okay, ngicala ukuboshwa when it's 2012, ne?
Yeah.
I got arrested ngaphuma.
Yeah.
Ne? December, December
2012.
Yeah, 2012. I think it was 8 or 9 December.
Yeah.
Ne? Siyaboshwa, we were 5.
Yeah.
So Tina Mahrutman, just Mahrutman, but that's it's not 18 Tina and above.
Yeah.
So Mina, myself, I was 18 years old
At the time.
Ne? Yes, thanks to my viewers age. Yeah, so I was 18 years old on 2012.
Yeah.
So Mesboshwa oyi-1 oyi-2 bekamncane wayi-Henry naye.
Yeah, juvenile.
Yes, wayi-juvenile Henry.
Okay.
So Mesboshwa, it was December mfethu. We've never been to prison. We've never been arrested.
Yeah.
So that thing was new to us.
Yes.
So Mesboshwa, so we thought we had that mentality ukuthi ngoba siyaqala ukubanjwa sasingaqala ukuganga but sasiqala ukubanja sasike saganga
netsangabanja you got away with it.
Yes namanje la community ethu bakhona wena bantu nethi ngoba akakaza aboshwa hayi ukuthi asisigebeni nethi ukuthi usengakaza aboshwa uyaganga so masiboshwa sinalo ukuthi hayi bazosikhipha yabo so we stayed for about 2 or 3 days my holding cells police station and then when we got to court asifike court kwaba ke nalama procedures ase court and bas remindela i-18 January. Can you believe it?
Imagine uDecember
fethu isenze first appearance yethu i-remind yethu second appearance bayibeka nge-18
in the new year
2013 and that's where the problem started.
Ish.
Now we must go to prison. We've never been to prison. And when we got to prison, it was terrible. In fact, it was too bad. You know, kunabantwana vele abahlaza nje empilweni ukuthi lo muntu lo ukhuliseke kahle. So okay, we had to adjust mina angibhemi angaze ngabhema. So bangitshela ke ukuthi ndoda khayikini mabazokuhlola ubatshele baphatha ugwayi noma nawufika ngathi thenga ugwayi. Mina funa mama nafika ngithi mama ngicela ungithengele nogwayinyana athi manje ngoba ubhemu uyalokho
uyasetshenziswa abantu
ngithi mina ngenzela ukuthi ngicela umuntu angiwashele and bese sengisebenzisa lo gwayi ukuthi ngembhadara. And mina angikho honest kumama ngisaba ukumtshela ukuthi uyafuneka lo gwayi lephakathi bawufuna lo gwayi. So okay fine saphuma ke kwaba neindlela ke bazali because besicala ukuboshwa nje sibancane nalo muntu wayesibophisile wa understand ukuthi yasikaze mhlambe saboshwa sasebantwana. So while withdraw icala bamcompensate abazali saphuma and kwaba nje nalo ukuthi mawuqeda ukuphuma eprison vele uba focus awufuni nje next
ezokubhayizisa ima ke niphuma before the second appearance date
no
18 January
no saphuma nge second appearance because we had to attend we had to uthi siye court and the court we say kuba yes releaseayo to withdrawal statement yaka complainant.
All right.
So saphuma ke and on 2014 I got arrested again. 2014 I got arrested again for a possession of unlicensed firearm.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Ngabuyela with 2 but manje senginalo ukuthi at least sengile ngaya yabo and ngiboshwa nomuntu owaziyo ke yena and emdala kunami. Saphuma futhi nakhona
through a complainant nakhona
lapho sesiphunyiswa nje ukuthi mhlawumbe ngikhona ubufakazi noma bazange bahlangana kahle icala laphela.
All right.
And Okay, yaqhubeka ke impilo ne. So we come to this one now.
The main one.
The main one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on 2015 on the 22 Jan uNkulunkulu blessed me. Nginikeza umntwana umfana wami engimshoyo.
Yeah.
After my firstborn daughter yazalwa ngo-2012 ngoMay.
Oh, okay.
Before
3 years
uzoboshwa.
later. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so okay, ngiyahlanganisa ke lapho yazi nginengane encane.
Yeah.
I had to make means
ukuthi umntwana
aphile.
Yeah.
So ngoNkulunkulu nakhona umntwana ngiyamhlanganisela kuba right. And then on the when was it? August 2015 we got arrested again.
This is now the 3rd time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this time,
what is the charge this time?
This time akusadlalwa. Akusadlalwa ke this time. No, singahleka manje but yeah, this time sekunzima mfethu, sekunzima. Ukubuyela kancane emuva ne.
Yes.
Uyabona ukuthi impilo yami imoshakale kuphi ne. And lento iza nami
kancane gradually.
Yes. And nami ngiyakhula. Uyabo manje senginabantwana abayithuna, nginentombazane na 3 na, ngineswane. I think mfana mbeyana 6 months.
Yeah.
Ne. Ngiyaboshwa. Ukuphendula ukuthi isiboshwa ngamap ma charges ne. Siboshwa nge-robbery with aggravation circumstance. Siboshwa nge-malicious damage to property. Siboshwa nge-attempted murder, which was later altered to assault GBH.
Yeah. Previous bodily harm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you could now see those charges are.
So I3
and robbery it's casual 6. Ne. Ukungena nje kancane kiyo or to teach anyone ozobona la. Irobari mfethu irobari yabo the moment ngizothatha ifone yakho atsithi uphatha lokho amafoni okuncane okuthengiswa iphepha ngabo 108 i108 ne atsithi na 2 years indala la ngemuva ibattery layo ulifake iphepha
so uyalisupport ukuthi asabambe
yes nalama buttons awasabonakala ne. I can come and rob you of that phone ne. Ngikuthathele ne10 rand ne. Lezi zinto lezo cannot even cost up to 300. Not even 300 ine 200
yeah.
Ngikuthathele lezo zinto lezo zoyi2. Mfethu uma ufike ekhotho leyo offense leyo izotreatwa as a robbery. Ngeke itreatwe ngokuthi
ngama possession.
Yes. Ngeke itreatwe ngokuthi lezi zinto zidura kangakanani. You treatwa as a robbery. So that offense can sentence you not less than umbene enhlanhla ungathola 10 years but not less than 10 years.
Wow.
But usually icala robbery icala u15 years upwards iyaqhubeka. Le phone le esikhuluma ngayo ukuthi ingacost impilo yakho kangakanani ingakuhlalisa ejele more than 7 years uhlele ejele uhlele li10 rand nje ukuthi mina ngifaka isandla esikhwameni sakho ngaphandle kwemvumo yakho.
With the possibility of parole or not.
Iparole angazi noma right now but let me say it. Iparole everyone is eligible to parole. It doesn't matter ukuthi useva how many years
in terms of the sentence.
Yes, you can even serve a life sentence, but at the end of the day you'll have to get a parole after a certain period of time. Yes, you're eligible to parole. So tinagege we were prosecuted and convicted of those offenses.
Okay, when did this now take place? Remember, you said to us that Naboshwa on August 2015.
Yes.
All right. When did the prosecution now take place? And the sentence. This is your sentence.
All right. Tina mfethu sa angizothi saba nebhadi noma saba nenhlanhla but azange sayithola ibail uma applyile ibail
Yeah.
masiboshwa ngoAugust ne
Yeah.
sangayithola ibail sayi prison. So mawayitholanga ibail, if nje ibail awuyithola kumele una ufike prison understand ukuthi la ngiyophuma makuphela icala mangiphumile.
Yeah.
If
Akhona makwenzekile.
Yeah, makwenzakalile mangiliwinile ngizophuma, if angiphumi shuthi ngizobe ngilana until kuze kuphela icala. So thina we stayed in prison kuma awaiting trials from August until ngo July.
The next
On the
year.
22nd is 2016 now.
Almost a year later.
Yes, it's 11 months actually.
Oh.
And that's where i-trial yaqala ngoMay on my birthday actually ngay-23.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh,
Kwaqala
okay.
i-trial sakhuluma sathola futhi remind lesi sibiza ngay-22 July.
Yeah.
And ngay-22 July ila kwaphela khona konke ila sekuphela khona icala alipheli kahle kahle.
Yeah.
But
Kwaba ne-conclusion.
yeah, ila kuba khona, that's when we reach a conclusion.
Yeah, ukuthi kuzokwenza kanjani.
Ila wasikhona ukuthi ngejele or ngekhaya. Buyela ngicam kakhona or ngekhaya. So unfortunately thina azange salwini icala, and I don't blame anyone for it.
Yes.
I don't blame anyone for it.
Yeah.
Because nabo labo bantu bebasibophisile benza nabo ubulungiswa bakhuluma lokho kwakufuneka bakukhulume, and then icourt kwabayethatha isinqumo. So ngeke ngibablame because nathi somehow vele sabasukela.
Yes.
If it wasn't for us nabo bangeke baze bafike ema-court.
Yeah, to the extent yokuthi manje sesiyanibophisa.
Yeah, bebangeke basukele basibophise sihambele estradini nje. Ngoba kwenzeki vele.
Yeah.
So I was convicted on the 22nd
Of
July 2016.
Yeah.
Afternoon nje.
Yeah.
Kaze lapha ecourt banokubhanga bakubhange nikhulume bathi lunch.
Yeah.
Nanibuya after lunch bese ziyakhala.
Yeah.
So to ukuqedela nje mfethu nanokuba mvisha nje. So maba siconvict thina accuse wami but so washona yena may his soul be in peace. Yeah, washona yena bamgweba 3 years and mina I was bangweba 10 years.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So bangweba le 10 years then uzokhumbula ukuthi nginomntwana oyintombazana una
4 at the
una
time.
4. Yeah, unomfana wami beseka almost one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mfethu leso silonda leso kimi manje angisho ukuthi I haven't healed from whatever that I've went through.
Kunzima.
But leso silonda kimi, and each time I look at them I could see the damage eyenziwe. Yes. So even to myself leso silonda leso sasekhona. Even game ukuthi I had to go to prison and leave my family ngemuva, and I even now I'm convinced that their sufferings were far worse than mine. My family sufferings were far worse than mine because I've mentioned somehow that if you got into prison or if you are being apprehended in any way, akuboshwa wena kuphela physically, and uyaboshwa and spiritually nane family yakho nayo isuke iboshiwe nayo ngaleso sikhathi leso.
Ama effects aba affect.
Yes. So mfethu kubanzima, and kubanzima even manje, because even manje as we speak there are things engidlula kizo ezisuka from lokuboshwa kwami kwa that time. So zisangilandela even manje. Buka ngiboshwe nini mina 2015, manje it's 2024. It's about 9 years later, but I'm still living ama consequences aliya offense. So to anyone nje ongacabanga ukuthi mhlambe i-prison it's a child play, ejele akusindawo yokudlala, noma ngabe sowuphumile ke ukuthi sowuphumile ke khona ejele, so la ngaphandle it's still going to follow you.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry, my man. I'm sorry. Yeah, gonna. It's a bit harsh. You know, the lessons that come with prison are a bit harsh. Yeah,
harsh.
and njengobusho, you know, one of the main reasons that I like you is that you are very honest and you have a huge social media presence and you've never hidden what you've gone through.
Yeah.
You understand? But I would like it if you were to quickly take us through. What then happened after you came out of prison? What did you decide for your life? When did you come out? Rather, let's start there. And after you came out, because I'm convinced now that you are living in Impilo Yako on the straight and narrow.
Right way,
yeah, yeah. Because a lot of people are actually inspired by your story.
Yeah.
I mean, now when I posted about a week or two ago that we are resuming the podcast, and you commented that you actually have a lot to share. A lot of people actually came to my inbox and said, invite this man, you know. People will learn a lot from the episode. So I would quickly like you to take us through your release and what you decided after you came out of prison for yourself and your entire family. Ngoba ngiyazi manje ukuthi so uphila on the straight and narrow.
I think maybe I should, if we've got time, I think maybe I should first take you and the viewers through my prison journey.
Yeah.
So it's in
definitely,
that, yes. So in that way, so in that way, people would get to know what happens behind that orange uniform.
Yeah.
What's happening or what happens behind lama videos wabona kuma TikTok ama offenders ase prison.
Yeah.
Behind our phone calls is when we're in prison, because we always laughing, and umuntu olangaphandle can say a prison it's a nice place. People are having cell phones, we cannot hide it. People are having cell phones. We see them on social media in nan. So mfethu ukusho nje nokubamfisha ijele, it's extremely harsh in all ways. Akuze la ngathi khona obungcono kungaba khona ngejele. Ayikho into emnandi ejele, and angeke ibe khona anytime soon. Ijele mfethu. Ungabona umuntu ubone sesigene ama complexion, leyo complexion leyo izanzima, iza ngobhlungu fana necream. Yeah, but leyo complexion, when like bantu bebathi mabasongihlola mina, like you look handsome, bokutshintshe njani, like I was like no ngiyabonga, but little did they know ukuthi leyo complexion iza ngaphansi kwesikhiya. Iza ngaphansi kwesikhiya, because even mina nawe ubhuti njengoba sihlele so, if you were to be hosted la for maybe about a month, still or not a month, but for you for 2 or 3 weeks, so still so phuma simhlophe kabi.
Singekho exposed to the sunlight.
Yes, so similar to prison. So mfethu mina masifika prison, sifika i22 intambama, ne bengine phone mina. Iphone nje yami smart nje incane. Bengine phone actually, but I had to use le incane ukuphuma nayo, because I knew ukuthi ngizokhona ukuphinde ngene nayo because incane. So
based on the size.
Yes, so ngiyazi ukuthi ngizokhona ukwenza ama phone calls, ngihlanganisa izinto zami nani. So mabaceda ukungigweba, ne manje ngiyazi angisabuyele ekhaya, impilo yami ichintshile. And ngizohlala la for more than expected. Ngibuyele prison, ngakhona ukungena nayo le phone ne, but le phone bengiyisebenzisa I think for about 2 months. Bengiyazi password yayo iphone yami. Ngathi mangena na iprison ngayikhohlwa ipassword.
The smartphone?
No, the one,
the small one.
Yes, ngayikhohlwa ipassword yayo.
All together.
Le phone bengiyisebenzisa imini yonke lapho. Ngakhohlwa ipassword. You know why? Ubhlungu nomqabango osokhona manje ukuthi ngishiya umama emuva, shi family yami, abantu abami nani siyangena eprison zi22 sahlala sahlala zathi 5 ukhumbule sibancane so ngesikhona ukuhlala la eErmelo prison funa si juvenile center and the juvenile center no not that one we must go to town prison eBarberton.
Yes.
Barberton is ekudeni mfethu 1.
Yeah.
We are coming from families are underprivileged. We don't have money. Siyazi la sichama khona emakhaya ukuthi isimo sinjani. Because noma ngabe ungahamba uyiphi you mustn't forget where you come from.
Yes.
Ungaboni abantu ubone abantu ohlele nabo.
Yeah, babhekelele phansi.
Yeah, noma babone ngathi usine ekhaya kibo ba right bese nawo usufuna ukuact ngathi nawo right. Yabo wena you must always know ukuthi usinena uneskip so manje mina ngengikhona ukuthi afford respect it ukuthi mina I won't afford to have iskip asakasine usine has a car mina must understand ukuthi I won't be able to have that car at least for now. So yeah, so my speed is so on the 5 September we had to go.
Mansusa na Ermelo now.
Yes, wala Ermelo we are driving to Barberton.
Yeah.
Sesisuka kula maphoyisa lawa esesihlele nawo isikhathi lawa asas understandayo ukuthi lo ngumuntu oso wona kasho so usukadlala into eso lo angayenza lo ngeke sesisuka kiwo sesiyuqala
abantu abasha.
We are embarking on a new journey manje. Fethu nakhona futhi ngathi bebasiphumuza ayazi ukuthi kubhlungu uthi ngale phone yakho oganga ngayo lapha ejele uthi ufonele ekhaya wena so awuka accept but so nawo ukuthi ivele la ngisahleli na ufone ekhaya ngathi ushonile bakhala and lento ibuya back kuwe futhi
ukuthi I'm putting my family through
because ekhaya bakhala abakhona ukwenza next and basakhalela wes ukuthi ke soyahamba ke kwalana ke sobatshela ukuthi kusasa ngiyahamba mina ngiya eBarberton bas transfer eBarberton so sahamba eBarberton sihamba namaphoyisa naso ugweji isiboshwa nje siyagadwa ke vele gadwa ke isiboshwa so yes so we were transported by ama EST ama emergency support team. There's this lamaphoyisa asebenza ejele lawa afana nabo ma beret so ma TRT lawa atseklisha
necessarily beret but afana nabo
asebenza nje ngapha bas transfer masifike eBarberton e5 it was Friday. Yes so siyafika eBarberton hey chintshile la manje environment everything chintshile
lijese ligaya ngomunye umhlathi
ijele ligaya ngomunye umhlathi mfethu iBarberton ifaka sonke isiboshwa and noma ngabe uchama kiphi province na ufike town prison so ifike ijele town prison ila kuhlala khona I think from 18 years to 24 years.
In terms of the sentence?
No, in terms of age.
Oh, age, okay.
Yes. I sentence ifaka konke.
Yeah.
Sentence ifaka noma ungafika ne life sentence uzofika egwini. Yeah, so masifike town prison kwaba right ke but maphoyisa khona uyabona ukuthi isandla sala sicinile.
Yeah.
Sicinile analokuthi ababanjwa noma ama offenders aqhamuka ngapha from our side eErmelo sistodi siphatheka gangsterism so isandla sicina ufika nje ereception ufuna indaba yakhe icace ukuthi uzokwenzani la uzoba ngiclever noma uzosave sentence yakho nangabe uzoba ngiclever uzothamba uzothamba isejele lapho phela kudlalwa akusikhaya kini
asibangani bakho
kudlalwa so kwaba naloko ke nathi sisangenwa yabo sisasebancane sisashiselwa vele ingcondo uthi ayivela yasidlala thina sihlala sizakuzodlala nathi la masifika lapha ke uyazi ke into zama gangster nani nathi phela siyaphatheka kuma gangster vele sengahluzi bamba machita lapha machita ayikhona machita la lokushini ke adjust nathi nya sesibo clever nyana ke nathi clever bakhona bahamba nenduku ke yamawada and induku yamawada it's totally different than any other punishment ongayithola physically.
Yeah.
Ayifane yamabherede, ayifane iyodwa nje yamawata. Ihlukile nje. Yama-prison water iyodwa ihamba phambili. Siyashaywa siyachubeka kube yilokuya. And then throughout that process, kimi ngikhulumele mina personally. Something again kicked in. Ukuthi no, I can't live lempilo le. Mina mama makangikhulisanga so. Kukhona lo nembeza obakhona ukuthi mina ngisingulo umuntu lo, mina umuntu ngiyamazi. And angeke ngiphathe umuntu nanoma ngabe ngayiphi indlela. So ngachintsha kwabangcono ke the following year 2017 ngo September I remember being besiceda ukubuya family day ngo August. Yes, besiceda ukubuya family day ngayenza application ye transfer bang transferela eBetali.
Is it Betal prison?
Yes.
Yeah, from Barberton.
Yes, from Barberton. Ngifike eBetali mfethu akusasina ke isi-juvenile phela lapho sekunabantu abadala lapho. Mawufika lapha ya ijele mfethu lingcolile ngayo yonke indlela lingcolile nje ijele. Ngcolile mfethu. Ngifike eBetali maphoyisa right. Ayafana nje vele amaphoyisa asejele. Ukuthi ejele usindiswa ukuthi wenze lokho lethelwe kona lapha which is to save your sentence. And each time you encounter abantu abasha, you must learn those people and respect them. Uzoba nepeace. Anyway, not necessarily in prison, but in life. Wherever la ufika khona, uthola abantu, learn those people and respect them. Uzoba right.
Yeah, profound.
Yes. Ngifike prison eBetali ngawiniswa yilo. Mina vele ngihlade ngiwiniswa inhlonipho ke vele. Mina ngiwiniswa inhlonipho. Ngafika naseBetali I was welcomed. Bantu abalapha abadala noma abanye ke bakhohlakele. Ne thina sibuyaphi? Sibuya ejuvenile. Ne na ufika ngapha kunabo babe kudala ababoshwa. Ne baba nalomcondo ukuthi labantwana abancane babuya kuphi ejuvenile.
Sizwe ngabo.
Yeah. Abanye nje bakhohlakele nje. Yabo. Yeah, baba nomcondo ukuthi kuyiqiniso ukuthi ejele kuneziboshwa ezinye izilala nezinye. It's true. Yes, it's true. We cannot hide it. So that umuntu azokwazi ukuthi izinto kufuneka idayi ejele zingakanani.
It's not just something eshiwo nje la ngaphandle.
Iyenzeka vele. So mina angingathi ngobuhlakani but ngizothi mhlambe ngedlozi lasekhaya noNkulunkulu I survived zonke lezi zinto lezo. I can attest mina even eprison angaze ngabhema ngisho kwayi ngaze ngaphuma and people will ask me endoda uzoyikhona leminyaka engaka sober minded. Ayikhona.
It's very much possible.
Yes. Yeah, ngayikhona ngaphuma. So bengifike eBetali nakhona ngahlala it's 2017 late. Ngahlala I think 6 months because in February I was transferred to back Ermelo.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's 2018.
18 now.
Angihlale ke sengasekhaya ke lapho inkosi balanga sengibona bonile nokuthi sengihambile yabo like my jail sengiyazi ukuthi ejele ufuna uyiphathe stone yini ekufuna uyenze into ekufuna ungayenzi. Ngahlala even though nakhona still konzima because ngisejele ngiyavalelwa ngesikhathi esisona ekseni ngiyavalelwa ngidla ithuslayi nomdoko ekseni emini lelo papanyana. Faith, did you know did you know ukuthi e-prison on the Christmas day uyaphakelwa ipapa and scrambled eggs on the Christmas day.
Lord. Really, I'm clueless, Jamina. It's educational for both me, our producer, and the viewers.
Papa and scrambled eggs. It's Christmas Day. La wena funa ngabe khona usekhayikini la ngaphandle noma mhlambe bekungeke ukudla okufancy but abazali bethu always make a plan ukuthi ngoChristmas kube khona lokudla ukuthi kube different than any other meal esidla throughout the year.
Ama several colors
phela lapho. So wena but uzodla lapho uzodla ipapa and scrambled eggs.
Oh. And it's a lonely day.
It's a lonely day.
Yes.
If ungabanga nenhlanhla kuba nama visits kuba bhlungu mfethu, we must always check impilo zasemakhaya. Mfethu kuba nomuntu okhona okuhlala 5 years angakaza visit.
What's the reason behind that? Family vela ifuna ukumbona or yena prefer ukuthi family ingamboni in that state?
There are people who doesn't have families. There are those people. There are kunabantu abala etradini etrobheni where they have families. They are nowhere to be seen. If ungathatha loyo muntu loyo ummix ejele ucathi uzohlolwa ubani loyo muntu loyo.
Yeah.
So lezo zinto lezo yizo ezinye ezenza kube nzima kakhulu. So mina I was fortunate because family yami was supportive
throughout the entire
Yes,
process.
and people engabazi mfethu engakazi ngababona supported me. Ne kunosisi engeke ngimbize ngegama. Yes, ngeke ngimbize ngegama.
Let's not rather mention it.
Kube mhlambe bengimcelile, I was going to give her that recognition.
Yes.
I think 2019 Christmas, she called me. She asked for my numbers, wangifonela.
You were still in prison at the time.
Yes. Mina vele bengina iPhone ejele. Noma bengingafoneki nje.
Yeah.
And now utholakele nayo on your position. Uzodela umakhasana. Yeah, wangifonela wathi unjani ngathi mina ngiyaphila. Wathi ke na I know you are in prison and I also understand what I'm doing, it's not right. Ne? But I'm offering you a gift Christmas ngathi mina right ne yini leyo gift leyo wathi ngifuna ukuphi imali ngathi mina imalini angisakhumbuli but it was nothing more than 500 ne ngathi mina hayi leyo mali leyo ngicela uyifake eaccountini yakabhuti wami ne ngafonela ubhuti wami wayifaka kuye. Do you know ukuthi ngenzani ngaleyo mali leyo? Ne?
Please tell us.
Leyo mali leyo kwaba khona intombazana ngabona comment on Facebook ngoJanuary ekhuluma ukuthi kunomntwana ngakhaya kibo onganayo icathulo so indaba zama uniform ne.
Yeah, school uniform. Yeah.
And mina I took that money engangiphiwe nguluya sis ne. I told ubhuti wami umthobise ukuthi take that money uyinikeze le ntombazana ihambe iyonceda lo mntwana. Yazi why ngenza lokho? It's because I knew ukuthi mina I've stayed in prison for far too long and ngishiye abantwana mina kuphi ekhaya but not necessarily ekhaya ku community. So I community nami ngikhulisele labantwana. It was a way of giving back. Lolo thanda abanikeze abantu abami kuloyo mntwana engingamazi engeke ngimkhombe futhi
namhlanje. Yeah.
So I took leyo mali leyo ngathi mtho thatha le mali uyinikeze intombazane isona ihambe yonceda lo mntwana. So le ntombazane engathi mina bayinikeze imali yathi kimi let me take pictures yalezinto engiyithengile ngale mali yakho and send it to you as a proof ukuthi imali yakho angayimisuse. Then I said to her, no, there is no need. uNkulunkulu nguye owazi ukuthi wena imali uyisiphi. If ukwenzile lokho you've done well. If awenzanga lokho still there is no reason ukuthi ungaze futhi ungishuthele to prove that. So that's humanity.
Yeah. And humanity at its best.
Yes. It's wrapped in dignity because I haven't taught anyone this. Not even my mother akakwazi lokho. I'm just saying it now because ngiyavela engqondweni.
Yeah. No, so, thank you for sharing it.
Yes. So it was 2018 kwaba iloko ke ngaphila 2020 mfethu May 4 November there was this thing the event yakamusa sorry ukukhuluma ngayo le yini konje not yakamusa necessarily yaka Shamas Kasi first.
Kasi first, yes.
How
Yeah.
faith? I've got a girlfriend. She was beautiful. Let's
hope she'll watch
Yes,
this.
she also supported me
Yeah.
throughout my prison journey. Bikamncane, bikafunda futhi.
Yeah.
Ngiyifona ekuseni.
Still in prison. At
Yes,
that time.
still in prison. How? Ngithi ngilelele. Ngizwa good boy mabuza. Hawu nangithi emnyango bathi baba paka zonke izinto zakho uyahamba. Hawu ngiyaphi? Akuze mina application engiyifakile ukuthi ngifuna ukuya somewhere bathi uyahamba eStanderton.
Standerton prison. Yeah.
Ngihamba ngedwa ke nabanye ke babanjwa ke wasihambisa but nama was one of those. Hawu. Manje hey, angisakho kukhuluma nentombi yami. Ngihambe nale phone phela beyinkulu le phone and bengiphiwe nguye lo mntwana.
Yeah.
Thathi phone yami ngishiye kumabanjwa amanye asalayo because the prison uyayifaka iapplication ukuthi ufuna ukuyihambela. Bese kuba khona le onikwayo na ijele le order because now say jail wena umuntu walo lenza noma yini ngawo.
Yeah.
As long as wena u right uphila nje.
Yeah.
Ngakuthatha manje ijele likumikise eJobek.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can awunasake lokho wena ijele liyakuthatha umuntu wethu.
You belong to them, kahle.
Yes, so I went to Standerton. Standerton, it was a worst experience of my prison time. Standerton, because on my mind I was pushing ukuthi manje sengiphushela ukuthi next year ngiyakhaya. So njoba ngila Ermelo at least I'll be able interact ne-family
Nabantu baseduze.
yes nabantu abaseduze. So nak manje bangithatha bangimisa eStanderton and eStanderton was a nightmare.
Eish.
Standerton is unmatched faith. Like ngifike eStanderton angifuni ukukhuluma a certain race.
Yeah.
But ish faith.
Awuzange uphatheke kahle.
Yeah, ngiphathekanga kahle mina personally bengazi ukuthi lapha I'm going to save my sentence and I know izinto ezenzeke ejele nekungafuneki ngizenze. But eStanderton it was beyond that.
No, sorry for that.
Yeah,
So then what happened when did you? Now that's at the end of 2020. You understand?
Yes.
And at the end of 2020, then almost 4 years into over 4 years, into your 10-year sentence. What then happens? When did you get released? What was the procedure like? What was the process like? Did you have to apply for parole?
Yes, I attended. Remember, it was during COVID, ne?
Yeah.
So prior to a release, you must undergo certain programs. Which one of them is VOD, which is victim offender dialogue.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So because it was COVID, they couldn't take ama victims wam to prison. Ukuze sikhone ukukhuluma like
because of the disease at the time.
Yes, the outbreak of corona. So umamami did that on my behalf. So ngiyamhlonipha for that because yes wakhona ukuthatha irresponsibility yami yento angazange ngithuma kiyo futhi wahamba wangcolisela so ngandlula ku VOD nanga attend parole khona futhi eStanderton on the 13th of July 2021.
Yeah.
And I was given a date yang 13 August.
Yeah.
2021 still.
Yeah.
The following month.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I told the transfer na yang letha ngapha eErmelo.
Yeah.
And ngaphuma ke nge 13 August 2021.
Is it? Oh,
yes.
Just over 5 years.
Yes.
Oh.
It's 5 years actually.
Yeah. So upuma on parole now.
On parole, yes.
Oh. Are you still on parole now?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm still on parole.
Oh, okay. So the parole iba active until the 10 years is done and dusted.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So any offense oyenza manje, they take you back in.
Yes. If ungenzi offense
I know you won't do it.
Yeah.
I know you won't do it. You've moved past that line.
Yeah, if ungenza iqala manje. Bangibophe lapha e-station, bangithathe, bangimixe court, ne? Ifika ithi court ke na safuna ukuprofile ne sikunikeza mhlambe 3 days or but sihambe prison ne the moment I stepped in a prison iba effective parole angiyimina kophi kuma awaiting trials ngiyefeda charge same time ngeke ngingene ngizongena ejele le impahla engigcokile lezi ngizoyikhumula ngigcoke impahla eorange ngiyaboshwa yo and before ngiphuma I might come back to court and be granted bail ne but mina I'll be taken back to prison with my bail uhambe ngiyo attend parole
even if ibail kuthiwa uyitholile
yes ibail bazongibail ekhaya ngihambe ngiye ejele ngifike attend parole futhi again iparole kube yiyo futhi engikhiphayo nginezi date uthi azophuma next week
all right no ngiyakuzwa mfowethu and then as we are nearing the end of our interview I quickly want you to take us now through the journey outside of prison after your release. Did people want to associate with you? Siyazi phela abantu esinye isikhathi baba nalento ukuthi hey umuntu osoke waboshwa yabona abantu baba nalento leyo ukuthi hey no we'd much rather keep our distance. How was your experience out of prison? Did the people that you left here want to associate with you after you came back?
Ashfed Ningphuma prison mina I was warmly welcomed by a number of people. I don't wanna lie. I don't wanna lie. I was warmly welcomed by my family, friends, people I went to school with, my then girlfriend. Nje mfethu beko right. Even though kuba khona lama circumstances avelayo, but kimi abe mancane personally. Angisho ukuthi nakwabanye kubanjalo. But kimi kube community ibe bit lenient. I don't know for what reason. Yes, but for specific but unknown reason, the community ibe kimi lenient. Yes, because mengiphuma ekhaya ngala ngikhulele khona le community, you know, but it takes a village to raise a child. The community ngikhulisile labantu abadala engibazwise ubhlungu bangicolela even though bangakushongo lokho directly but izenzo zabo nanendlela abangikhulumise ngayo banginikeza iyalo bangikhulisa even after my prison lokho kimi kwaba indication ye forgiveness even without me apologizing to them ukuthi ngiyaxolisa ukuthi ngibe ngumntwana mean towards this community.
That's good.
Yes, so mengiphuma mina eprison kube right and kwaba khona ke futhi nezimo ezivukayo. Uyazi mfethu ukuthi mawuphuma mina ngiboshwe isikhathi eside ne shothi mina ngihambe ekhaya 6 years and kunabantwana engibashiye banabo ma 12 13
so kuyabana bo 19
mengibuya sebadala labantwana so mina emehlweni nabo umuntu obuye ejele ngumuntu oyisilima and umuntu okwenziwa noma ngabe yini so wena as a person, as an offender, you must always be aware of dates and always ube neindlela zokubalekela lezo zimo lezo, because if uzothwena uzoyiconda lezo zimo lezo, I give you my word mfethu ngeke kuphelele 3 months uphila osasela ngaphandle uzobusejele
uzobuyela
uzobufile that's why ubona ma offender amanye ozomuntu kuthiwa uphume eprison washona ukwaziwe or uphume eprison wahlala inyanga wabuyela. It's because of that mentality yokuthi now ubuye eprison usuku ungasinhleva and usuku ungasisleep but either way umuntu osejele akekho uhlebo osejele.
True.
Angisho ukuthi abantu abasejele they are stupid but they know even themselves they know ukuthi when you're in prison akekho uhleva mfethu ovalelwa ngowani emini. and it's mandatory ayikho into ongayenza
Yeah.
ngo-1 ufuna uvalelo
Yeah.
uyophuma ngakusasa
Yeah.
ekuseni
Yeah.
uyabo
Yeah, no.
so iloko nje
Ikanjalo,
mfethu but nje kube right kimi kwaba nezimo ezivukayo ngoNkulunkulu futhi ngakhona ukuthi lezo zimo lezo ngiyi-overcome and ngize ngifike la ngikhona khona at this point.
Yeah.
So kuningi okuvukayo even namanje kuningi mfethu I don't wanna be specific but kuningi each day mfethu
Yeah.
mina I go to groove ngiyaphuza there are people who are always wants to push me.
Yeah, baba nalento yokuthi hey this person ubuye ejele, let's try and provoke him.
And kibo banalokuthi ayikho vele into azoyenza lo. Nakangathi uthi simbuyisele ejele.
Yeah.
Abanye bakhona bangitshela straight hayi ukuthi bangifihle bangitshela ukuthi uzobuyela ejele na ucathi uhlakaniphile. So kubhlungu lokho but there's nothing you can do when you must just understand ukuthi I'm at this situation now and I must adjust to it.
Yeah. No, mfowethu, no. Thank you, man, for such an enlightening episode. And for sharing your story. You know, in such instances, it's not everyone that might be entirely comfortable with sharing everything. But ugogo wayehlezi ethi kimi, uyabona into uma ukhuluma ngayo nabantu bayakusiza and they quickly forget futhi about that thing but they move on from it, whereas mawusolo uyibambile izokusolo ukuthi speak about it, teach people about it, which brings me to my last question just before we wrap up our interview. Guti, what are the teachings or what is the advice that you would give to young boys who are at your stage, who were at this or who are at the stage that you were at in 2012 when this entire debacle started, like about in the activity of crime? We know in MLO there's a lot of crime. The community newspaper reports crime each and every weekend. There's been a murder, there's been a robbery, there's been this, there's been that. What would your advice be to especially these young boys? Siyazi kunama gang futhi which go under different names which I will not mention. But what would be your advice to them as a person that has lived yonke lento wayibona from outside to prison and then back outside? What would you advise them about?
My advice would be noma ngabe empilweni so hambe kangakanani endleleni wrong ne, there's always ways to turn around uthatha indlela right. Doesn't matter ukuthi how many people you have killed, how many people you have robbed, lezinto lezi doesn't matter ne. Okubalekile ukuthi ku possible ukuthi usengashintsha. Nanokuthi mina eprison ngifunde ukuthi kukhona indlela, there are ways ehlale ibonakala ngathi ze right bese kuthi isiphetho salezo indlela lezo asibi kahle. So to anyone who's watching this episode, it's either umdala or it's either umncane, I can say kuwe ukuthi stay away from crime, stay away from anyone ongak-influencer or ongakupusha ukuthi ufike la uzokwenza khona ubugebengu, because like I've already mentioned earlier on ukuthi kunezinto esingazenza namuhla, lezi zinto lezo zizo impacta impilo yethu for a very long time. So to youngsters abakhulayo, those who are in gangsters, those who are fighting ezikolweni nani, they are our brothers. Asikabalahli, we love them, we know ukuthi bangabantu nabo, just that kunomoya ungenile kibo. So my words from me to them ukuthi let's just sibeke ikhala phansi esikolweni uyazi ukuthi yini kufanele uhambe nayo, ufuna uthatha incwadi zakho, you must dress your school uniform, uthathe incwadi zakho, uthathe iballpen yakho and go to school. Leave your heads behind. Umakubanda, just when you get to school, take off your heads, sifake esikhwameni and be disciplined. Ungayi noma enze esikolweni, ungayi nensango, ungayi nama-drugs esikolweni, because lento leyo will lead you, because ngeke ufunde ungekho sober minded. You must be sober minded in order to focus kulento sokuyele esikolweni. And the moment you become intoxicated, or the moment so ungasabi sober, you become dangerous to labantwana abakhona. So my plea to abantwana ukuthi let them go to school bayofunda, because isikolo, we don't do isikolo for umsebenzi, but we do isikolo ukuze sisibonise impilo ngenye indlela engcono.
Right ukuphila, yes.
Yes, so my advice to them, ikhali phansi kakhulu njala emelo nje, yike ngingakusho nje ukuthi ngiyakubona lokho kunye, but ikhali phansi bafethu, siyekelana ukuchithilana igazi, ama-gangster isandawo, nathi impilo yethu siyazama, but mhlambe ayikufuneki ngabe ngila ngikhona khona namuhla, maybe ngabe ngisekudeni, so kuphume kanzima ke futhi na gangster wangena ungenile, alikho lokuphuma, wangena ungenile uphuma ngokufa, mhlambe nami ngasizwa ijele kube thiwa in for prison, mhlambe ngabe ngafa or worse noma kube ngixhwalile. So ukubalekile, let's do good for ourselves, let's do good for our community and for our families as well, and for the future of this township. Let's senze emelo indawo right nenokuthula. And
thank you Mfana. No, I couldn't have said it better myself. Brilliant interview. Not to say that I'm blowing my own horn, but I know how good baningi abazofunda okuningi from our interview, and let's hope that they take the teachings and they apply it to themselves and become better people. Ngiyabonga once again for izandla zidlule ekhanda for you sharing your story with us. Whenever we have a guest here, asisho ukuthi sekugcina beza, understand, different scenarios lead to different interviews and different situations.
Yes.
So we can call you back in and say, I'm going to share this part. You understand? But thank you once again for honoring the invitation. Sibonge and producer to Mr. Samgeliso Ngobese. You can find him on YouTube. Very good producer. Nemkungebe Studios, which we are currently at this point in time. Thank you for everyone that made the episode possible.